First, I'm going to be looking at the on-case arguments and then the opposition's counter-contention regarding hunters and gatherers. I apologize to both the judge and my opponent for not citing. However, the opposition entirely fails to address the argumentation supported by these applications, providing no counter-examples or refuting evidence. As such, my applications remain uncontested as the opposition offered no counter-evidence. Furthermore, he stated that this is an a priori issue and that the proposition should lose, as no references were provided. If the proposition can lose on this sole argument, then the opposition is subject to the same standard on the basis of reciprocity. Next, going to contention 2. Asia and Africa are not only the top two hungriest places on earth, but they are also the driest. The Asia Foundation and weather.com. If they grew plant matter exclusively, then the waste of water on animals could be less. As I mentioned in my previous argument, it takes more water to feed animals than it does to grow crops. Therefore, Asia and Africa are left hungry because they are using their water to give animals instead of focusing on growing plants. The opposition again mentioned that I had no citations. However, as previously mentioned, there is no counter evidence. There was full opportunity to bring up counter evidence, but the opposition did not do so. If the human brain evolved through the use of meat as nutritional source and ethics are the product of materialistic development, then we previously had no ethical obligation to abstain from eating meat. However, as we now possess cognitive and philosophical ability, we can now make the moral choice to eat only vegetarian foods. According to the American Dietetic Association, vegetarian diets have numerous health benefits when properly implemented, and cognitive function can be retrained without negative consequence. As such, there is no ethical argument supporting the consumption of meats to preserve brain function, as humanity can biologically advance without it. Any argumentation stating that the continuance of meat consumption on the basis of biological tradition is irrelevant and without impact. The idea put forward that this House must refer to all circumstances and is an abuse of definition, as the proposition would be forced into making a sweeping generalization regarding the needs of every unique human being on Earth. When it does not come in conflict with a basic human need, vegetarianism is more ethical choice. According to the opposition's definition of this House, the proposition would be required to forbid a starving man to eat bacon when no apple is available. This is a gross abuse to the proposition. Now the affirmative burden is only to show vegetarianism ethically profitable whenever viably. In conclusion, I point out reciprocity. I defend that world hunger can be solved by using water more efficiently in undeveloping countries. The eating habits of evolutionary ancestors worthy to exist are immaterial, as human nutritional requirements can be met without meat. I say how this House referring to all circumstances is a sweeping generalization.